Hi, girlies. Before the episode starts, I want to let you know I'm on tour. Come see me live. I'm going to be in possibly your city. I'm going to be in Raleigh, April 4th through the 6th, Atlanta, Georgia, April 10th through the 12th, Austin, Texas at Cap City on April 23rd, Indianapolis on May 2nd to the 4th, Portland, Oregon, May 16th to the 18th, and Nashville, Tennessee, July 25th and 26th. This is the third episode of Feelin Girlie. If you don't hear your email on this one, there's a good chance we wrote it on the Patreon. If you want to come find us at the Feelin Girlie Patreon, link in the bio. Love ya. Bye.
If I was a girl, I'd run the city, kissing boys in the street, hiking up my mini. Back in high school, would have been the girl to beat. Football player's number on my cheek, cheating on him with his best friend Pete. Small town moms calling me fast, but I rode him slow in the backseat. It would have been a blast, feeling girly and Shirley. You know all of this is made up, cause I'm just a gay guy who's a little high, feeling a little girly, feeling a little girly.
Welcome to Feelin Girlie. I'm your host, Dylan Carlino. Hi, girls. Nice, Ariel. Ariel's stepping on my incredibly expensive microphone. Welcome to Feelin Girlie. Hi, girls. I'm Dylan Carlino, your host. How are you guys doing today? I just got back from Atlanta. Well, I wasn't really in Atlanta. I was headlining Helium, which was 40 minutes outside of Atlanta in Alpharetta, which... Have you ever been to Georgia, Ariel?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like it?
I don't really remember it that much.
You're a little kid?
Yeah.
Okay, great start with the Ariel combo today.
Sorry.
It's okay. I do just want to quickly say,
I also wasn't a little kid last time I went. I just don't remember.
yeah, it's okay, and you and just be yourself. And that's what's important on this podcast, Ariel, is for you to be yourself. Maybe it was too early to throw
For
to
sure.
you. You know, I should have. I got nervous. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I just got nervous because I was like, oh, the camera started. I have to talk about things, and then I said, oh, I got nervous. Ariel, have you been to Georgia? And I don't remember. Yeah, we both panicked. That's what you just saw. Two people absolutely panic trying to make a show. No. But you're doing a great job, Ariel, and you're not in trouble.
Am I really red now?
Yeah, she'll replay. She'll before, in the edit, she'll make sure what she said wasn't embarrassing.
Oh, it's Ariel. Don't do that
And then
to
if
yourself.
it is, I mean, there's nothing I can
Yeah,
do.
she
Yeah.
do anything. She's not. I go.
Oh.
Cut it out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I'll tell you this. Georgia was beautiful, and I had 5 shows. They were fantastic. And by fantastic, I mean we're gonna have a quick conversation about how to act at a comedy show again. It's so funny. It's so crazy. It's so unexpected that these women keep coming out to see me. Not unexpected, but like so sweet. I guess I'm just like, they're so excited to see me. It's such a great time, and the Alpharetta shows were really fun, but we did have some issues again with people being very talkative, and I don't want to come on this podcast. This podcast should be called like "Don't Talk at Dylan's Comedy Shows." I feel like every week I'm addressing this, but people did in the comments say they were really happy that I brought it up at the last one. But it was so funny because we had an early show on Friday. We had 2 shows on Friday in the early show, and there were these 2 girls in the front row who were like very, very talkative, and they were very pretty girls. And I'm sure a lot of you are pretty girls, which means that no one's ever told you to shut the fuck up before. And maybe you're used to men being in the room just letting you do whatever you want because you're gorgeous, but honey, those tricks don't work on me. And so they were sitting in the front row, and they really were like gorgeous, but they kept talking, and I let them kind of do it for, I would say, about 20 minutes. And then eventually I leaned over and I went, if you keep talking, I'm going to drag you out of here. And but I said it in like a fun way of like, hey, shut the fuck up. And they got so, you could tell they were like, one of them was like pissed that I had said something. She was like this the rest of the show. I was like, okay, I get it, because I'm sure it's like they really probably liked my stuff online. They're like excited to come see me. I'm not sure why you would ever be so excited to see someone talk and then just talk over them the entire time. But that was their prerogative of what a good show is, I guess. And at one point at the end, I was like, I had asked her name, and I was like, are you mad at me? Because she didn't laugh for, I would say, about 30 minutes after that, which is like front row, pretty negative energy for me. I mean, you're right there. I'm looking at you. And she didn't laugh. And then I got her to laugh and I go, are you mad at me? And she was like, and then she shushed me while I was on stage. When I would talk to her, she goes, shh. And I was like, I know what you're doing right now. You're doing like the classic, like hot girl, like I'm going to be kind of bratty to you or whatever. But you could tell that she was trying to like hurt me back in some way. And I was like, honey, this is my show. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit if you talk or not. I'm asking you a question. And then what was so great about it was, afterwards, I always do meet and greets, and I was meeting everybody and taking pictures, and it's so sweet. And I want to be clear of why I keep bringing this stuff up. Like, for example, there was a woman at that show who was absolutely incredible. And sorry, my roommate's coming in right now. I'm like, I don't think the door is locked. I'm like, what is going on? Sorry. And there's a woman at that show who hadn't left. She came up to me and she had like tears in her eyes. And she was like, you're the first show I've been to since the first outing I've had since I've started taking Lexapro. I haven't left my house in a year. And she was with her friend and she was like, I haven't driven a car in a year. I haven't left my house in a year. Like, she's having some serious mental health issues. And my show got her to come out. And it's like, so that when I'm so rude about these people talking during the shows, it's like, that woman hadn't left her house in a year. And this is and she was pointing to her friend and telling me her friend saved her life. I'm like, implying that like maybe she had tried to, commit suicide or something. I'm not 100% sure. And if you're watching this, I love you so much. But then you have people talking at the show. It's like, you're not thinking about the other people at the show and like the reasons and how they got there and the money that they spent to be there. It's just disrespectful, which is why I'm super, coming on here and telling you guys to not talk at the shows. But it was funny because I was in the meet and greet line, and then those two girls that were talking were like nowhere to be found. And these three other girls, and I hate to say it, prettier girls. One of them looked like Megan Fox, and like Megan Fox in Jennifer's Body, and which is like, and she had a crazy. No, she was like banging. This girl was like a banging body, and all three of them were gorgeous, and they came up to me, and this is what I love about women so much, and what I love about girls is they came up to me and they gave me like a big hugs, and they were like, oh my God, great job. And I kept apologizing to people, being like, I'm sorry I snapped at a couple of people at the show. And every person who came up to me, they're like, no, they deserved it. And I was like, okay, thank God. And the girl goes, they all put their arms around me, and she goes, those girls that were talking in the bathroom? I'm like, mm-hmm. She goes, those girls who were talking, they're in the bathroom right now talking shit about you. And I was like, oh, I love you girls. I love that you just told me that. And she goes, and then she leans in and she goes, and they're still going to try to get a picture with you. I was like, I was like, you're such a real one for that. And then literally right after those girls, I was like, I love you guys so much. You're amazing, blah, blah, blah. Those two girls came out and they're like, can we get a picture? And then the one girl was like still being super rude and being like, like doing like a key or whatever. And I was like, let it go. You did this to yourself. And I took a picture with them in my arms. And if you're watching this, the whole time in my head, I was thinking, I fucking hate you. Just so that you're aware. And those girls told me what you said about me in the bathroom. Okay? So don't you ever think that you're going to get away with that mean girl behavior at my shows around my girls. Okay? Because they always come and tell me, because my girls have my back and I have theirs. And you girls are mean girls. And one of you had thick eyebrows that looked sick as fuck. And I'm not going to take that away from you because it was cool. But you were rude for the rest of the show. And you were pretty girls. They kind of looked like the D'Amelio sisters, who are, do you know who those are?
Yeah.
They're so famous, and I'm not sure for what, because neither one of them have an ounce of talent, charisma, or charm.
I think they can dance. I actually think they dance well.
Oh, really?
That's their main thing.
But they don't dance well in the sense that they like they're never in those, like, that red backdrop that all those dancers like all stand in a group and then people come out and they dance and they all like hype them up. Have you ever seen those videos? I don't think they're doing that.
Yeah.
I think they kind of go like, like the Addison Rae dance. Do you know who Addison Rae is?
Yeah.
I low-key have zero respect for her, but I have respect.
Her music is actually pretty good. Have you heard it? There's definitely one of her songs that you've heard.
Oh, Obsessed? Have you heard that song? Oh, she has a lyric in a song, Addison Rae, and the thing is, she goes, you say you're obsessed with me, and you know what I thought? Me too. I'm obsessed with me as much as you. I was like, you're such a dumb bitch.
That's a bar.
At a bar. You're so funny. That's so great. I have no hate for any of these girls either. Like the D'Amelio sisters. I mean, like literally, they have so much money. They could literally kill me for no. Like they could like pay someone to kill me. Not a problem at all. And I'm sure they do. I'm sure the D'Amelio sisters kill people. I really do believe that. And. Well, I mean, like, what else did they, you know what I mean? How else did they get this fame and reality show? I mean, yeah, there's a, yeah. Oh, now Ariel, you have to be more strong-minded when you disagree with me. You just went from like, I think they can dance to, I think they kill people. I mean,
She folds immediately.
yeah, you can't fold with me. You'll let me stumble over you. It's bad.
She would snitch. For sure. She would rat.
No, the shows really were crazy. And this is like just like a recap of my shows now. But at the first show, we had a really great first show. It sucks when like the first show, like a Thursday, is like the best one. And we had all these people there, and there was this lesbian, TK, and TK was very masked and loved the show and actually gave me a standing ovation at the end, which was very nice because they actually had a boot on. They had broken their leg, so I go, "You're standing on the boot." I must have been pretty damn good. I mean, if you're standing on your broken leg to come out. And then she came and took a picture with me afterwards, and she was like, we're going to come back tomorrow. And I was like, oh, you don't have to do that. It's like the same set. Mm-hmm. And also it makes me feel pressured to do different jokes where it's like, whatever. So they came back the next day, and I was setting up my camera that I actually didn't use because I forgot the audio equipment. So it was like humiliating. I like set up the camera, and then I was like, well, I guess it's just throwing this away. That's so embarrassing. I like lugged all my audio and filming equipment, and then I only did the first show because I couldn't figure out how to do the rest of it. So it's like whatever, embarrassing.
Even though you called Josh and
Yeah,
asked
Ariel. Even though I called Josh, even though I called your boyfriend, your man, okay, because I'm calling your man on off hours, okay, and then I couldn't figure it out. Are you happy? Does that make you happy, Ariel? Okay, that you just humiliated me on my podcast. Oh, you couldn't figure it out, even though you called Josh. You called my man at night. Yeah. I did call your man, okay? And I answered. And he answered immediately. And my roommate's making a smoothie. She's no respect, okay? You can hear that blender in the background. That's Brielle making her smoothie. An absolute wrong time to make the smoothie, Brielle. Take it outside. And TK came the second night. And I ran into TK the lesbian right before the show started, and she beckoned me over, and she goes, "I have a gift for you." And I've never gotten gifts from my fans, which I've heard other people talk about the gifts, and she goes, "This would mean the world for me to give this to you." And I go, "Oh my God, I wonder what it is." She goes, "I did some work for the Pulse nightclub in Florida. You know, the gay nightclub that got shot up? Very sad." And she goes, "Here is a gay pride flag that hung inside of Pulse." And not to sound disrespectful, but I didn't want it. And ungrateful. I'm not trying to come off as ungrateful, but like I have to bring good energy to two shows, and I just got a murder flag that hung inside a nightclub that had a shooting. And also, like, I'm not, like, an activist. Why are you giving... I tell, like, fucked up jokes. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, now I'm getting... You know,
right?
Am I the appropriate person to get that? And it was so kind. And I did take it, of course. I'm not a monster. But she also gave me two flags. She gave me one that was out, and then one was packaged. And she goes, "This one hung inside Pulse." So I go back to the green room, and I show my openers, who were incredible. And... I told them the story, and they all go, "Oh," you know, it's just like negative energy, you know, like whatever.
It's like intense. Yeah.
I mean, like, think about this. Like, could you imagine if someone came to like a Jewish person show and was like, "I brought you some shoes from the Holocaust." You know what I mean? Like, it's not. Yeah. You wouldn't be like, "Oh my gosh, thank you for this incredible gift." How about you guys bring me like weed? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to. I'll take the weed. You know what I mean? Like that would be fun. And I took it or whatever, but then we opened it up at the flag that she said hung, and it looked brand new. And the other one was in a package. And then I thought, I feel like she just ordered these online and then just wanted to have a moment with me. So like, she was like, "This one hung inside." You know, I don't think it actually did.
That'd be crazy.
I think it's fake. I do. I think I have a fake Pulse.
What if she's like, It was like sentimental, and she had this moment, and now you're on here going, you're a liar.
Well, I'm just saying, you can't trust anybody.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Whatever. I mean, I've also believed people for saying the craziest things. One time I was like on a date with somebody, and I'm scared I shouldn't say this, but I was with somebody who told me that they were like I was like 6 months sober, and I was like in a long car ride with somebody who is a known liar now, and I didn't realize it at the time. And they had told me that they had created a TV show with these like comedians, and I didn't know this person very well. And I was like, oh God, that's like so cool. And they're like, and then the pandemic happened and blah, 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 all this stuff. And I just kind of like believed it. And then afterwards, I talked to some mutual friends, and they're like a server at Jimmy John. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, they're like, that's just like a bold-faced lie. And I was like, oh, I didn't get that. It's great. It was like, it's
you wouldn't hear?
What? Who
like
would?
You wouldn't hear about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna find out.
Yeah, and he was, yeah, and I was just like, oh yeah. I mean, I guess I just had to stop believing people. When people tell me things about themselves, I just go like, oh, that must be the truth. Because why would you lie about something like that? You know? Like, why would you come up with a 45-minute car ride saying that you created a TV show with Jenny Slate and Gabe Liedman, and then 6 months later, I literally was driving and I was like, oh my God, he was lying. And I like went to his Instagram and I was like, oh yeah, they don't follow him. Yeah, and I was like, none of this is real, but that's so funny. My childhood best friend's mom came to the Georgia shows because her and her sister lived there, and that was very sweet. I hadn't seen them in 10 years. And shout out to Lisa and Sarah Zeninger, my friend Emma, who her mom came. And actually another woman from my hometown came to one of the shows. And I'm from Lee, Massachusetts. And so we have like a kind of iconic, I guess it's iconic if you live in the Berkshires, like an exit sign to get off to Lee. It's like exit 2. And she wore a big exit 2, Lee, Massachusetts shirt, and I thought that was so sweet. And she was like, I'm from Lee, and I was like, oh my God. And she goes, and everything you said about your father is true. I was like, I love that. I was like, that's so fun. I was like, well, good, validated. It's also killing. And then there was something, oh yeah, so this is how the shows went. So please come to the shows. I have a lot more dates that have just been added. I'm going to probably be on tour for the rest of the year, and I really appreciate you guys so much. I've also had a crazy week here. Also, did you guys see everybody talking about everyone going to space?
Yeah.
Katy Perry.
Let me tell you something about Katy Perry. If Katy Perry is your guiding light to sanity, you're mental. This girl I knew Katy Perry was completely gone the minute we saw those pictures of her and Orlando Bloom with his big uncut cock hanging out on their paddleboard 8 years ago. Okay, I saw that. And
I never saw that.
Oh, you should look it up. He's got a huge uncut cock. But it's also half hard. It's clearly half hard. We'll look it up right now. And they're on a paddleboard, and she's sitting on it, and he's just like paddleboarding with his big uncut cock out. And it's so inappropriate. And clearly it was like for a paparazzi shot. But Katy Perry's only thing that she ever did for all of us was in her documentary when Russell Brand, which also, why were they together? Obviously, there's some mental issues happening. And she asked for a divorce, and then she's like crying, and she goes up on stage and then like sings normally. That it's probably one of the most inspiring things I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah. But people who go to space are losers. And I really do believe that. I think if you're interested
Unless you're an astronaut.
I even think they're losers. Not to be like disrespectful, but I think like when people are so obsessed with going to space, yeah. What do you? Are you looking at his big uncut cock? Yeah. See, isn't that a crazy picture?
Yeah, he fluffed.
Yeah, for sure. He's half hard.
That's crazy.
Ariel just looked away. We're forcing Ariel to look at Orlando Bloom's penis right now.
Yeah. She's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I just don't think. It's crazy.
Yeah, so funny.
Well, to me, it's just Katy Perry is like, she hasn't written a good song in years. Yeah. She's out of touch. She's like that new album where she was like, this is for women, and it's like you worked with Dr. Luke who like raped Kesha, and then you're like gonna like go to space and be like, I really care about like space. I don't care about space. Let me promise you something right now, to the listeners, to my girlies, to my girlinos. You will never see my fat ass in space. I will never go to space. I don't care if I'm a fucking billionaire. I will never go to space. You want to know why? Because space is boring. There's nothing to do up there. You just float around and like what? Look at the Earth? No, there's no good place to get lunch. There's no place to really chat. I don't even know if you can have coffee in space. I'm not going. You can't smoke cigarettes in space. Can you smoke cigarettes in space? I don't think so. I'm not going. I truly, to me, people who are like obsessed with space, it's the same thing when they're like obsessed with Christianity. It's like you're focusing on the wrong thing. Just enjoy your life and try to be a good person. You don't have to worry about the other planets. It doesn't matter. You're never going there. You know, it's like Elon Musk. It's like there's something wrong with him and he's obsessed with space. There's something wrong with Katy Perry. She needs help. This is gonna come back to bite me in the ass in like 2 years when I'm like on the red carpet being like, Katy, Katy, can I get a quote? And she's like, didn't you say I was mentally ill and my husband had a big uncut cock? And I was like, you guys are the ones that showed it off. So I guess that's what I had to say about Katy Perry. What are we at time-wise?
19.
Okay, I thought maybe it would be a little bit longer. Someone said, get Dylan a clock so he can stop asking how many times for. I go, how about you mind your own fucking business, okay? How about you run a podcast? That's bad. Well, before we get to emails, I also, guys, please send well wishes to my dog Frankie, who got spayed yesterday. Aww. Which was a very traumatizing experience for all of us. And I don't know if you've ever had a dog spayed, but it's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. And it's really sad. And I started crying yesterday while she was gone because I started thinking that she was in surgery and she was being cut open. And she doesn't speak English, so I couldn't explain to her. My dog Frankie, she got fixed, and which, whatever. It's really awful. And she does have the cone on. She's in my room. She's all hyped up on medication. She's like sleeping, but it's like I'm just so worried that her stitches are gonna break and that she's gonna.
She has a cone, right?
She does have a cone, but I woke up this morning. She took the cone off in the middle of the night.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, and she was just staring at me like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" I was like, "Get the fuck out of here! I'm putting that cone back on you, bitch."
Yeah, how did you get it on?
I got one of the soft cones, and you think so?
Oh, yeah,
are they? I don't know.
Yeah, you should always get the hard. The Queen Elizabeth ones.
I know, but
they suck.
They suck. She doesn't like that, and so this one's kind of cute though.
Yeah, you really have to make sure she doesn't get to her incision.
No, she didn't though. She didn't lick it.
She could have.
Josh.
I'm just saying, gotta get the hard cone.
But I haven't seen her even try to lick it. So I mean, it just got done yesterday, so I don't think. Yeah. I think it's fine. Maybe what if she just did a couple licks?
No, that's fine because we have a friend. That's a really bad story, but she got her cone off and then she opened up her
wound and then everything fell out and she died. I can cut this out.
It's a PSA. We leave it in. It's a PSA.
What if she just did a couple licks?
That's
totally fine.
Probably fine.
You just don't want her like opening up the.
I looked at it this morning. It's fine.
Yeah, you don't want her opening the stitches.
You just don't want her opening it. That's.
Because that happened. We have a friend who had it happen to us.
Who's the friend?
A person in Florida.
It's actually like a friend of a friend. I don't know them personally. But
and then they told us this when we were at breakfast, and I said, "Oh, thank you."
Okay, well, you guys are telling like lores and rumors that I don't need to hear about. My dog's fine.
Should I cut this out?
No, it's fine. Okay. No, it's totally fine. Cut out the point where my roommates came in though, because that was bad. Okay, well then I think it's time to move over to emails now that my dog's about to die. I'm trying to think. Is there anything going on in your life, Ariel?
Not really.
Nothing?
She found this shirt. She's all excited.
Oh, isn't this a great shirt? Marshall's.
Oh, yeah. What does it say?
It says guess.
Oh,
it's bedazzled.
Yeah, it's giving a little, what's the...
like Ed Hardy.
Ed Hardy.
Yeah,
it's
early
giving like,
2000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I think of Ed Hardy, I think of John and Kate plus 8, because after they got divorced, John was like obsessed with Ed Hardy, and he would wear it every single day. That was like, he like made Ed Hardy Ed Hardy.
What?
Yeah, 100%.
From John and Kate plus 8?
Mm-hmm, everybody knows that. You know what's funny is like there are people listening to this. There are girls listening to this right now who like aren't aware of John and Kate plus 8. Where I feel like we grew up in such a different time where it was like when I was in high school it was John and Kate plus 8. Octomom. Remember Octomom? Yeah. She has like 16 kids. Good for her work. I mean that's like really that's hard to do. Okay, well let's move over to emails. I feel like I've talked shit about all the girls who came to my show and talked. I told you about my dog and we talked about Katy Perry and her mental illness and her husband's big uncut cock. If you haven't seen Orlando Bloom's big uncut cock, I wonder if they're gonna be like, please stop saying big uncut cock. But no, I won't. Let's move over to emails, okay? So this one's called He Loves Me, He Loves Me Not. By the way, I don't pre-free. I think we were going to have Ariel pre-fruit them.
Oh, yeah. Do you
Clearly
want me to do that?
It's too late. It's actually more fun kind of yelling at them if they do it right. All right, wrong. Hi, Dylan. First off, love the podcast. I'm a top tier girly, so I'm hoping to see this one on the Patreon. Oh, well, it's in the regular episode. But I will say, I did notice what's very funny about the shows is that the girls will come to the shows and they'll identify themselves by their tier. And so they come take a picture with me and they're like, I'm a tier 1 girl. And I'm like, ah. But it's even funnier when they're like, I'm a tier 2 girl. I love my tier 2 girls too. They're like, I'm tier 2. And they'd be like, but I'm gonna, you know what's so funny to me? And not to be disrespectful because I know everybody's in different financial situations. Like, sorry, I can't sign up. I'm broke right now. And I'm like, it's $5 a month. Like, it's less than a cup of coffee a month. Okay.
That's patreon.com/feelingirlie, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. I know Josh really wants me to make posts on my Instagram that I keep forgetting to do. Oh, please don't use my name. Okay, great. So I, 28, have been dating this guy, 37, already a nightmare, for over a year. Everything is great. You're writing to a podcast about your relationship. I can guarantee you things are not great. You have a 10-year age gap and you're writing to a podcast. We're in trouble. We share a lot of common interests. He likes how young you are. Our lifestyles are. By the way, this is not a huge age gap. I'm not one of those people who like feels like a 28, 37 age gap is crazy. I almost said I'm 28. I'm 30. But I would date someone 10 years older than me, and it's not even an issue. I feel respected, seen, and loved. The only thing that bothers me is that he hasn't actually said that he loves me. That's bad. I did say it to him one time about 6 months ago into our relationship, and this started a convo about how he had moved quickly in the past relationship, saying I love you, meeting the fam, moving in with partners within months, and how he didn't want to make the same mistake this time. I agreed because same. My last relationship with 5+ years, queer U-Haul, so this didn't bother me at all. He said that after 6 months, he didn't feel like he knew me well enough to say it. Okay, so now fast forward 8 months. This man knows me. I know him. Things seem really solid. We still haven't met each other's families, which is honestly a relief because we are in no hurry to move in together. But I think that it's so weird that we haven't said love you to each other. I grew up in a house where we said it all the time and he didn't. So I'm trying to be mindful of that. And if I feel loved, that should be enough, right? And God, the idea of saying it a second time and not hearing it back is horrifying. I feel like the ball is in his court right now. What do you think? Here are some pics of me, XOXO. Okay, you're very pretty. He's giving like Fleetwood Foxes likes indie music. And are your eyebrows bleached blonde? I really hate when girls do that. But I know it's like the Julia Fox of it all, and you're gorgeous, but like I'm like, oh my God, her eyebrows are complete. Oh yeah, they're bleached blonde.
Some
Sweetheart.
girls are good with that. I would look terrible with it, but some girls I feel like it looks good on.
I'm here to tell you, Ariel, women lie about what you guys look like. They do not hurt each other's feelings. I'm here to tell you the truth. You have gorgeous hair, you have a gorgeous face, you have striking eyes. Get your fucking eyebrows back. Okay? It's a trend, and it's not for everybody. And to me, it's for no one. When I see someone with bleached eyebrows and dark hair, and I go like, "You're scaring me." I'm gonna tell you, if you want me to give you an honest review, I think it's okay. He hasn't said "I love you." It's been an entire year. He said after 6 months, you said it to him, and he said he doesn't want to say it back. You haven't met each other's families. You grew up in a family where you guys said "I love you" all the time. He did not grow in that same environment. I don't think he loves you, and I don't mean to say that to hurt your feelings. I think like if a year's a long time to like not say it and not meet each other's families, and because to me what it says is like you guys are having fun, you guys really get along, maybe there are some really strong feelings, but it seems like he's like this, I'm not putting my eggs in your basket. You know what I mean? Like, and how many hoops are you going to jump through, or are you willing to do to kind of get yourself to a place where he would say it to you? I don't know. I think break up with him. Not to be, is that crazy?
No.
What do you think, Ariel? How would you feel after a year if someone didn't tell you that they loved you?
I think that's all kind of crazy.
Do you think it's crazy? How long did it take you and Josh to say it?
We said it very fast.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
She never mind. We don't
No,
have to get into it.
I said
Okay.
it first. But
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah.
If I was a girl, I would never say I love you first. Not to be like disrespectful to the girls out there who say it first, but if I was a girl, my man would tell me he loves me first. Okay. I would.
That's honestly good advice.
I would never sit around being like, I'm gonna tell him I love him. You know what I mean? Like, I would no. That's the worst part of being gay is that one of you has to say it first, and I never want to be the first person to say it. Yet I always am. And by always, I mean the one time I have said it. Okay, and I actually don't think he said it back. Okay, I'm just like you. I'm just like this email writer who has no eyebrows. Isn't that incredible?
She said it cryptically too. She went.
No.
Do you know what it's like to be in love?
Oh.
Shut up.
Oh my God, Ariel went.
No, I'm cutting this out. I'm cutting this out.
No, Ariel went. Have you ever heard of love? Josh, have you heard of the concept of love? I would love to tell you about it.
Stop,
It's really
I am
strong
not this
feelings.
cringy, I swear.
No, it's okay.
That was cute.
That is very cute, Ariel. Have you ever heard of love? Listen,
I'm
just
literally so mad at you.
Why? It's so cute.
I think if you love this man, I think Ariel, it's not embarrassing. Please accept yourself for who you are.
True.
You're a freak. And you're a freak and you need serious help for saying it first. No, I don't. Are you mad at me that I said that?
No.
Mad at me.
No. I can never be mad at Dylan.
I have a thank you.
So mad. Why are you mad at me?
No.
No, Josh, you're bringing your relationship into my podcast. So wait, we have to answer this girl. I'm just gonna go by pictures and say he looks like an alcoholic.
Can I see the picture?
Yeah, of course. I know. Ariel looks really disappointed. Do you see the eyebrows?
Yeah.
You have great eyeliner. But can I just say, you do have great eyeliner. He looks like a drunk, to be honest with you. And I know this isn't the most helpful information in your entire world, but I don't know. I just think like if you need him, you have to ask yourself, do you need him to say it? Do you need a man or a guy in a relationship to tell you that they love you if they do? Because if not, if he's someone who's never going to say it and he grew up in a family where they didn't say I love you, that's going to be your life unless he like does work on himself and changes and like learns how to be comfortable. Maybe he does love you, but maybe he's never going to say it for like years. And so you have to be like, are you comfortable with that? Or is that something that you need? Do you need to be in a relationship with someone who tells you with their words that they love you? I think I would, but if you can deal with just feeling it and taking the bare minimum, then stay with them. I don't know. Maybe break up with them. I think here's the thing. Just break up with them. Who cares? You're actually like young and cool. And
You're
like,
way cuter than he is.
whoa, Ariel.
She's getting comfy.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, but I actually, and by the way, and that comes from somebody who like I've dated people who when I break up with them, they go like, "Your man was ugly," and I go, "Okay, well, I loved him, so don't ever say that." But not you, Ariel, but like I always hate when people say that. But I don't know. I feel bad if you heard this and you feel offended. But I would say break up with him. You know what? I'm just going to say it how it is. If I was your best friend, which I feel like I am all your girls' best friends, I would just say break up with him because honestly, if he does love you, he'll win you back and he'll say it. Maybe you'd be like, I need to be with someone who's going to tell me that they love me and manipulate him into it.
Okay.
Well, what do you think he's doing?
Yeah, it seems like he's really like going out of his way to not say it, which is weird.
So either he has emotional issues where he feels uncomfortable saying it, which is a problem, or he doesn't love you. Those are your two options. You know what I mean? So so which one do you want to tackle here? Which one do you want to tackle? So you have to figure. I think you need to figure it out. If you need that, if you're fine just feeling it, and feeling girly and feeling like it, then stay, chica. Okay, but. And I really hope you're not mad at me. Honey, would you message me and tell me if you're mad at me and Ariel for saying that your boyfriend's not that cute and that you should break up with him? I actually think he's cute. He looks like guys that I've sucked off before. So just, he does. I would, your boyfriend's cute. I was going to guess. Sometimes when I look at guys, I can see how big their penis is in my mind. It's my superpower.
Are you right, usually?
Yeah, I think so.
Did you think Orlando Bloom was going to have a hog?
I don't think it's a hog. I think he's just half chubbed.
Yeah, true.
But I think it's probably 7.5.
So specific.
You might be right.
Yeah, not your boyfriend. Your boyfriend's giving 6.5, but I love a 6.5. Should we move on to another email? Sometimes I'm like me, and we do this, and I go like, are these girls gonna be like upset with me? Okay. This one's called, "Is he gay, repressed, or just bad at Hinge? Please advise. We have pictures." Love that. You know that if you send pictures, you get, but send them at will because we just destroyed that one girl's boyfriend. Warning before you send. "Hi, Dylan. So my friends and I are writing in because we're at a loss here, and honestly, we need professional help, aka you." Now that I am a professional, I've been a professional gay best friend for about 28 years. And before that, I was just a toddler. We were trying to figure out how to get our friend, let's call him Bob, laid or kissed or something before he turns 30. We have to throw him a virgin-themed birthday party. Oh my God, Bob is 27 and has never had sex or even a real kiss. We attach pictures of him so you can see he's really not ugly and has lost so much weight recently. Girls are so amazing. Like, he's not even that ugly, and also he used to be fat, and now he's not.
That's so funny.
This is so funny. This is giving girls in high school being like, "Oh my God, that girl is so cute. We should give her a makeover." Which is really giving him a lot of confidence. We've tried everything short of hiring a sex worker, still on the table, honestly. The thing is, everyone who meets him ends up asking if he's gay. Men, women, baristas, probably a few Uber drivers. He definitely gives off gay vibes, but he's never come out and he doesn't talk about guys or girls. Sometimes he'll say a girl is cute, but that's about it. We've tried the gentle route, is like talking about relationship, asking open-ended questions about his type, even bringing him to a gay bar where he proceeded to act like we took him to a funeral. Nothing. We encourage dating apps. He puts not interested in women only and got 0 swipes, which again, he's not ugly, so we're suspicious. And we've begged him to just buy a drink for someone at a bar to practice. Hard no every time. Also worth mentioning, he lives in a major city where meeting people shouldn't be that hard. The problem clearly isn't a lack of people, it has to be something internal. To make things trickier, he lives with this super religious, very controlling mom who thinks the devil lives on Grindr. He also had some childhood trauma involving men, and he's never had a dad growing up, so there's clearly a lot to unpack emotionally. He has a ton of close girlfriends, hi, it's us, but very few guy friends. He always gets weirdly tense when we bring guys around, like not in a rude way, sometimes yes, but you can feel the shift. He's constantly talking about wanting a relationship, saying stuff like everybody has had one except me, which breaks our heart. We just don't know what to do anymore. How do we help him without overstepping? Is this something that he has to figure out on his own, or should we drag him into a therapist and force him to swipe both ways on Tinder? Please help. We love him and just want to be experiencing intimacy before his next birthday. Okay, and they sent pictures. Yeah, so, okay. You girls seem very, very sweet and like you love your friend a lot. I'm looking at his pictures right now. Your friend is gay. And I don't... No, he is. He's gay. It's okay. And I'm going to tell you right now, men don't hang out with women like it seems the way he hangs out with you, especially without trying to have sex. He's not ugly. He's very handsome. He seems like a nice guy. Yeah, he's he's gay though. I'm looking at these pictures, and that's not wrong. He clearly has. If you're telling me he has a mom who's incredibly religious, had experienced trauma with men, I'm assuming that's like sexual assault trauma, growing up. He's probably insanely repressed and is not comfortable talking about it or being gay. He probably doesn't want to be gay. And there's nothing he has to figure this out for himself. You can't help him. You can be there for him. You can be a good friend. Don't force him to do anything. Don't force him into a therapist. That doesn't work on anybody. You can't force him to date. You just have to let him be him. And it sucks. You'll probably watch him struggle for a while. him having sex before he's 30 is not the problem. He's got a lot of other identity issues that you guys are not equipped to deal with, I don't think. I mean, the only thing you can be is supportive and a good friend, which it seems like you guys are doing, but don't overstep. Don't ask him if he's gay. Don't ask those types of questions. I would just say be there for him. But from what I'm reading in this and seeing these pictures, yeah, your friend is gay, of course. But straight men aren't friends with women without trying to have sex with them at least once. Also, weight on a straight guy is not the same as like weight on a gay guy. Like straight guys will be literally 300 pounds and like go up to the hottest woman in the entire world and be like, do you want to get fucked? You know what I mean? Like he's not ugly and whatever, but it's just different. It doesn't really matter, I guess, if he's straight or what. He's not. But yeah, it's very sad. He sounds like he has a lot of issues. He probably needs to break free from the controlling stuff with his mom. That's so sad, though, to me that he's almost 30 and he is still dealing with that. He's probably so scared to tell you guys or even I mean, like when I was in the closet, the worst feeling was the thought of having to tell other people. Because especially, I mean, and I came out at 18 and that was awful. Not awful, I mean, like everyone was great about it, but like you build it up so much worse in your head. And I was 18 at the time. I can't even think about what it would be like if I had spent 12 extra years in the closet, and my parents weren't even religious. So think about that. That's awful. I feel bad for the guy. I mean, but he's gonna have to, but this is life. It's his choice. If he wants to spend his entire life in the closet, you can't force him not to. You can just be a good friend to him and maybe, I don't know. I don't think it's appropriate to ask if he's gay, but he is. And so you don't need to ask. You should just, I don't know, maybe make some other, I don't know. What do you think, Ariel? What would you do if you were in this situation as a girl?
I don't know. I was definitely thinking like therapy. Like he needs some kind of therapy. He needs to get away from his mom.
Yeah. Also 27, still living with his mom. I don't think that's I mean, the best thing you could do is maybe encourage him to move out of his mom's place. Because you have to think about this. If he's going out with you guys having a good time, how is he supposed to date anybody when every single night he goes back home to his mom's house, who's incredibly religious and is like, gay people are bad? How is he ever supposed to get out of that mindset? The best thing you could do is encourage him to move out of his mom's house. And like figure that out, because he needs to separate himself from the religious stuff, especially, but also if things happened with men. Yeah, he has childhood trauma involving men, never had a dad. I mean, that really doesn't have anything to do with it, but the childhood trauma could be bad. It's a lot to unpack emotionally. You should encourage therapy. Maybe you should talk about how you've gone to therapy, or how much therapy's helped you, or lie. Say you had a hard time in relationships until you went to therapy. But it's hard. I think therapy is really hard for men. I think also he's probably resisting therapy because he knows he's gay. And if he goes to therapy, he knows he's gay. He's not stupid, but he doesn't want to be gay. Those are two very different things. And it's a lot of mental blocks. So who knows? I find it hard to believe that he's never been on Grindr. He might be doing sexual things, I mean, behind closed doors. You don't know. I mean, Grindr is nasty. It really is. Like, I was off it for 2 weeks. I got horny while I was in Atlanta, and I let some guy watch me jerk off in the hotel room. I mean, like, it really... I know. It was crazy. And I was like, that's what he wanted to do. And I was like, come watch. See, and that's a secret I was going to take to my grave. Okay. But then I said, we'll say it on the podcast. And then he left and I deleted it. And, but so he seems like a very, what, Josh? What? You have a problem with I let someone watch me jerk off?
I don't get the exchange.
What did you gain from it, I guess?
What did he gain?
Well, I think he had like a small dick and he was like, I want to watch a guy with a bigger dick jerk off. And it was kind of hot he was like, whoa, you know what I mean? Whatever. But I don't know. I was just bored and I hadn't come in like 4 days. So I was like, I'm down. That's why I mean, like, I don't believe that he hasn't had any sexual. I mean, like, he seems like a nice kid. He's got a good group of really pretty friends. I can tell that you guys are a handful when you drink. I can tell you that right now. Oh, I feel so bad for him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's wearing a necklace that has Yeah, he's Gay. Okay, yeah, he's a little sweetheart. And also that's like, of course he's, whatever. You gain weight when you're like trying to push people away from you. That was a good way. Like, I think I got up to 400 pounds so easily because it was a good way to keep people away from me. It was a good way to keep romantic relationships away from me. And subconsciously. But your friend needs serious help. And then you guys, was that too mean? I feel like that was kind of nice. It wasn't mean. Yeah. Okay. Do you the girl from the email before is like, oh, so you're nice to them?
My boyfriend's ugly, but
yeah. See, and it's the back and forth. Okay, this one has no subject line. Hi, Dylan. I love your hypothetical stories of if I was a girl. Here's some tea about my first and only last boyfriend ever. I hate men romantically speaking. They are horrible people. Please keep it anonymous. Okay. Well, I just broke up with my boyfriend and he had a relationship for about 2.5 years. He's Spanish and lives in like the countryside and he has the best place to live. It would be like a Tinkerbell fantasy if I lived there, but sometimes living with him was the nightmare because I'm a girl who has feelings and needs and I'm sensitive. And sometimes he was so rude to me when he was stressed. Okay. When he had a lot of pressure, and I know that someone can be stressed and be like frustrated or something, but I didn't understand why he was so rude to me, and that's something that I don't like about him. And I'm a girl, okay, and I need a lot of love and a lot of attention. This is an insane email. So when we went back to his, I'm a girl. I need a lot of love and a lot of attention.
That's real though.
I know. Yeah, I know. I returned back to my country and he stayed there in Spain. I had to beg for his attention and obviously I'm tired of it because it wasn't the first time, I mean, right now I'm so sad because as a woman, we have the hope that maybe someday he would change and he would realize that women he has by his side. However, I don't have any hope with him anymore. Now he doesn't want to delete all the 3 photos that I had on his Instagram that I forced him to post. If I was a girl, I would never be in a relationship with a guy that I had to force to post me on Instagram. It's a bad look. Mm-hmm. And also, that's you girls, your biggest problem is. You girls, not to be disrespectful, all of you date on potential. You don't date for what they actually are, you date for what they could be. So you go like, well, okay, this is a good model. If I stick with him and I push him to be the guy I want him to be, that's not going to happen. You have to just, whoever you're dating, you have to look at them like right now, it's like, this is Josh. He's not changing. And that's what Ariel loves about him. But yeah, Josh could be better. We all know that. But Ariel doesn't care about that because she loves Josh now. Am I wrong?
I could get abs.
Yeah, and we're all pissed you don't have it. I'm pissed he doesn't have abs. So here we go. He doesn't want me to delete all 3 photos I had in his Instagram that I forced him to post. He doesn't want me to remove the photo of us in WhatsApp. Like when we had the last argument, I was so upset. I archived the photo of us in my Instagram and WhatsApp. I had a picture of all of us, but now I have like my photo alone in like myself. Okay. I was about to say like all the likes are crazy, but I think you are from a different country. I understand saying like in conversation, but writing like out that many times, I'm like, you don't have to write it out, whatever. I am happy and I'm not like there, but he's still begging me to be with him. Like yesterday, he told me, can we please have a great time together? Like it wouldn't be difficult. And can we please talk to each other with respect? And I was like, bitch, you don't think about it when you were telling me the shit that annoys you. Okay. I'm done reading this email, but sorry, there's just like nothing going on. How about this? Write bullet points of what happened. Like not to sound disrespectful, but I was like, there's no picture, and it just sounds like you're kind of accepting the bare minimum from a guy who doesn't want an actual relationship with you, but wants to fuck you and have a good time with you and not have you have too many strings attached, which is your issue. So I would say want more for yourself, and you should never be in a relationship with somebody that you have to have them forced to post pictures of you on your Instagram. I'm not somebody like I wouldn't, if my boyfriend didn't have me on his Instagram, I literally don't even think I would think about it. But some girls need that kind of like why aren't I on your Instagram? But I think it's kind of it's a little bit of a young conversation. I'm 30. I'm like, oh, if I'm dating a guy, he doesn't post me on his Instagram, I'm not going to be like, he's never posted me on his Instagram. Well, yeah, he's probably fucking other girls. Okay. Is that bad?
That's real.
Okay. The podcast should be called That's Real. It's not mean. It's real. All right, new email. Ex pops out with not so surprised new girlfriend. Classic. First off, I love it. If I was if I was a girl videos have come up my FYP constantly the past couple of months, and I'm utterly obsessed. So when you started this podcast, I was so excited. I love how real and relatable you are. Thank you so much. What are we at time wise?
48.
Okay. Anyways, my ex-boyfriend and I were together for 2.5 years, and after we broke up, we never officially got back together. But we didn't leave each other alone for another 1.5 years. Classic. We ended up going to the same college. I'm a freshman and he's a sophomore, so naturally we started hooking up again when I got there in September. One night, as we had literally just got done having sex, like still waiting for him to get the rag, just got done, he tells me we shouldn't do this anymore. Ultimately, he ends up saying that he met someone new. He doesn't feel like having to explain to them that he just hooked up with his ex last weekend. It sounds like he already had met somebody. I started seeing him around campus with some blonde girl. Of course. It's always some fucking blonde girl. Okay. I'm naturally brunette, and when we were together, he always told me to go blonde, so I saw this coming. Still pissed about it though. Of course. Let me tell you something. As us brunette girls, we know it's always that blonde girl. Those fucking blonde bitches steal everything from us. Although it is crazy that he was always telling you to go blonde. Men are so... That's how... That's what I want girls to understand. Like, you could be his fucking soulmate, and if you have the wrong hair color, he's out. So, you know what I mean? Their opinion doesn't matter. Their opinion doesn't matter on what you look like. You could be the love of his life. If you're not blonde, he doesn't want to fuck you, okay? Okay, come to find out, I've gotten dinner with this girl before because she lives in the same dorm as two of my best friends I've made. Literally shares a wall with them. Looking back on it, she 100% knew who I was, but didn't know who she was, and I never directly interacted with her again. And that's fine. Winter break comes, and he hits me up, saying he called things off with her because it's always winter break, isn't it? Isn't it always winter break where they always come back, they're back with their family, and they go, you know who I miss? The brunette girl, okay? Because I was thinking, this blonde girl could never make it here with my family. He wasn't ready for a new relationship and tries to get me to hook up with him and sends him nudes, which I don't. Good for you. I would have folded. I would have been like, what do you want to see? A month later, he pops out with a girlfriend. That same blonde chick, and she took him back after the break. And I find out from her hard launch Instagram post. People start commenting that they've secretly been dating since August, and in the chain, he confirms it. I'm completely shocked because he has pursued me since then and repeatedly told me that he was just friends with this girl. So I'm pissed off. But honestly, I'm mostly upset because I haven't talked to or even kissed anyone since September. Not because I don't want to, but because every time I go out with my friends, guys only approach them and not me. I don't know what that is, but if it's really starting to take a toll on my self-esteem. I've never felt so unattractive in my life, and it's really hard to listen to my friends complain about guys approaching them after the fact when I'm starving for some sort of validation, which sounds so pathetic and embarrassing. I don't have feelings for my ex anymore, but it would be so much easier not to be bothered whenever I see him, this new girl, if I had something or someone else to occupy my mind. The first picture I attached is the hard launch post. The second is the comment change, and the third is me and my friends that I go out with. I'm the one, the far right in the blue. Okay.
What?
Oh my God, someone commented. This is crazy. So the hard launch post, which... Whoa. Yeah, he has like lizard turned into man face. Like how'd you even describe this? It looks like his face. Wait, before I show you this, hey, your ex, and not to sound disrespectful, and she seems like a nice girl. She does seem like that blonde girl. Is this in DC? He looks like, and okay, I'm going to show you the face, but he looks like his face is like he was made in the image of like a mask. You know what I mean? Like like a mask of a human face, and then they made that face human for like an AI robot.
Like uncanny.
Oh, whoa.
His hair is
It looks like
I
he
know.
shrunk his face a little.
Yeah, like there's something really going on.
1.5
And he has really bad hair as well. She has a kind face. She seems like this is the hard launch. This is the new blonde girl.
I don't.
Josh isn't into her. She has really thin hair.
I want to see the...
Yeah, let's see. And then here's the comments. Someone commented hashtag dating since August. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
That like the fact that people, and then someone said hashtag secretly, and then someone said people forget, and then he said had them fooled. There's something weird going on there. I wouldn't trust it. Oh my God, sweetheart. Okay, you're gorge.
Oh yeah.
No, stop.
Way prettier than the blonde girl.
Okay, this is way prettier than the blonde girl. You're so cute. Oh my God, sorry, I'm like focusing. I'm gonna go ahead and say it might be your energy. You might be closed off. Like you might like, cause you're very pretty. I cannot see a single reason why. You look like you got a really cute face, really beautiful, rich brunette hair, and not to be like crazy about it. Looks like you got a nice fat ass. Okay. And this color blue is looking incredible on you. Yeah, you're gorgeous. And also like really naturally pretty. Okay. I think it's your energy. I think your energy is really closed off. I think that maybe this whole situation, and maybe you're a little depressed and you don't even really know it, and you're at school, you're a freshman, it's your first semester. Maybe you're not feeling so cute. You're away from all your old friends. And you're in this whole, you just had a huge life change. You just started college, or maybe you're a sophomore. I think she said that she was a freshman, right?
Yeah.
And what is it? Probably the end of, this is like your first full year of college. Remember that. Like, don't feel like you have to like, number one, you're there to study. Okay. You're not there to let's get one thing straight. You're there for a degree. You're not there for cock. Okay. This blonde girl, she's going to be, at the freaking, hay patch, with her fucking 9 kids and that ugly man who they, listen, don't worry about them. They're really not a cute couple. I want to be real about that though. I don't want you to feel bad about that.
He did look like a Sims character.
He looks like really scary. He kind of looks like an ugly version of Sabrina Carpenter's ex-boyfriend.
The
guy,
actor?
Yeah, the actor.
Yeah,
but this guy looks tall. I bet.
He looks like a wee character.
I bet he has I wonder if is and this doesn't matter, but I'm like, does he have a ripped body or is he secretly kind of fat?
I bet he's skinny fat, you can tell.
He is skinny fat. I bet he has a bad dick. He either has a bad dick or he has like a massive dick. Or like a fucking hog on him that like, honestly, when it gets stuck in you, you'd be like, I feel sick. But there's no way that it's good. There's no way that makes you happy.
I feel sick is great.
I feel sick. If I was a girl and a guy stuck a 10-inch cock in me, I'd be like, I feel sick. Take it out. No, it's okay. I think that this is I think this is Josh loved that. Josh loved that. Your friends are really pretty too, but you're not any less pretty than your friends at all. I think it's your energy. I think you need to figure out if you're a little depressed and maybe this situation kind of fucked with you a little bit, especially since this is a guy that you knew from high school and you all went to college together. Maybe you're just kind of feeling like this shift. And yeah, figure out I don't know. What would you say, Ariel?
Sorry, what did she ask? Like, what was the main thing? Like,
I don't care about that. What is the question? The main question is, I guess she's just telling me about, what was the question? Oh, what,
I was like, was I not
by
paying
the way,
attention?
I'm like, guys, send me advice. And then I just comment and then comment on what they look like. I mean, this is crazy.
You should put going forward, put the question you're asking as
in the subject line. Okay, I think she's just saying that her ex pops out with with a new girlfriend and how that made her feel.
Okay. Well, he sounds terrible. So
yeah, but also like I think this isn't about him. It's not about the blonde girl. I think you need to figure out why you're feeling this way, because it's not because of this guy and it's not just because of the situation. I think your whole life changed in this last year, and maybe I don't know what high school dynamic you were going through, but maybe things shifted, and I think you need to figure out what makes you feel hot, because you are hot. So that, but if sometimes hot people, they don't even realize that they are good looking, and it's like, because it's internal. You have something internally wrong with you. Maybe you need to go to therapy and figure out what that is. Maybe you need to take a fun spin class. Have you ever tried to spin?
Ew. Is that sorry? Is spin sorry? Is spin class fun? I hate exercising. I'm sorry.
She said, ew.
No, that's great advice. I'm so sorry.
Okay, well, good luck after you have kids and you can't get your body back, okay?
She called talks about that too.
Yeah, and because you don't know how to work out, okay? No, and not that it just mentally it puts you in a good group. You know what?
She should flirt with a guy at a library.
You know what? Let me ask you a question, and I hope this isn't too inappropriate to bring up, and I would be curious to know: are you masturbating? And are you? I know. I'm serious because sometimes when girls don't kiss and they don't have sex, they stop masturbating completely, and then they feel like, you know what, honestly, what you need to do, you need to start getting in touch with your body again and change your energy. And like, instead of walking around and thinking like nobody wants me, this is something I actually started doing because I saw it on TikTok, and it actually has, being like, when you have negative emotions in your head and you have negative thoughts in your head and you believe them, your brain will look for confirmation all over the world, all over. So like, you walk around being like, I'm never going to be in love. All you will ever see is confirmation that you will never be in love. If you walk around being like, I'm hot and guys want me, and like really, and it's going to sound ridiculous when you first start doing it, walk around and being like, people want to fuck me, and think that, and I will always find love. That's actually what the thing I saw was I will always find love, but I'm adding in, guys want to fuck me. And so I want you to walk around for 3 days, every single day, where you have those negative thoughts, think, I will always find love and everybody wants to fuck me. And I guarantee you by the 3rd day, you will feel better. It sounds so stupid, but you just have to do it. And yeah, and I thought that too. I thought, God, I will always find love. And then you know what I found in Atlanta? A straight guy who wanted to watch me jerk off with a small cock. Okay. So you will always find something, chica. Okay, what are we at time-wise?
An hour.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I want to say thank you to all my tier 2 girlies who listened to this episode, but we have to move on to the tier 1 girlies, which is only available on the Patreon. But Patreon is my number one. You get an extra episode every single week. It's $5 a month, you cheap whores. And I'm sending you guys a lot of love. Sign up for the Patreon. If you are already on the Patreon, I'll meet you over there. Love you, girls. Bye.